Anthony with Southern Surface Cleaning and Pressure Washing, and with Trudi with Panhandle Power Wash or Panhandle Supply and Classic Touch. I'm used to putting the Classic Touch in there. We're here. We are here tonight with Bobby from GoWash, Nick from GoWash, and Blair from Capital City Power Wash. We are going to be talking tonight about CRMs. It's going to be an interesting conversation because I've been in it for 8-9 years, man, and this is a new topic to me. Didn't do my research. I'm gonna feel like a dummy sitting here listening, but but we're gonna kick this thing off, and we're gonna have a good time tonight. And which one y'all guys wants to go first? Nick, with your company, did you start GoWash?
Yeah. So
let's start with you, brother.
Well, before we get too far into the conversation, I got to correct you. We're not a CRM technically. So in we're nerds, right? Me and Bobby, we're a bunch of nerds. So it's like, I don't know, Blair's one of our clients, right? We've been working with him for forever, and he tries to bring us down to like a level of, okay, you're talking like this weird like coding language. Nobody's understanding you guys. So in a nutshell, here's what we do, right? We take all of your contacts that you already have purchased, right? Like you bought these leads in one way or another. And we take those, and all we do is we simply automate text messages to them with offers or things that are going to get them interested again. So anybody that you've ever worked with in your entire history, you have their phone number somewhere, and they've opted in to receive information from you and your business. And we look at that as that's the most valuable asset that you have. And we try to help regenerate revenue and all kinds of good stuff through that list. So I was the founder of GoWash, and sort of found this power washing industry very interesting because, as Blair can contest, it's the amount of I was actually really surprised because we tried restaurants and we tried all kinds of different industries, and we found this one to work so well. And I'm not sure exactly why it works so well, but it does. And I think Blair sort of was our, popping of the cherry, for lack of a better word.
He was a guinea pig.
Yeah. I was a guinea pig, and I got a dirty mind, so.
Well, it's kind of want to change it real quick.
Yeah.
I believe they call that a beta tester.
A beta tester, yeah. Oh, who's the nerd now? Who's the nerd now, right?
So we don't want to offend the guinea pigs in the group.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Love guinea pigs. But yeah, so it's been quite the ride, and I met Bobby long ago. What was that? A year ago, maybe?
Yeah, met Nick a couple years ago. I was working at an agency that did a lot of websites and SEO, and I got kind of sick and tired of working the 9 to 5 at an agency and loved what he was doing. So hopped on board with him. And I'm really excited. My kind of role with him is client communication, making sure everything's flowing nicely. He is definitely the systems operator. I'm just here to make sure that communication, everything else is handled. So,
yeah, which it's extremely valuable to me because I'm not the best when it comes to following up, even though that's exactly what the systems I build do. It's kind of all right. It's kind of, yeah.
So for the people out here that is here already, so let's say I call you Nick and I say, I'm Anthony, I own a power washing company. It's a little slow right now. I need to get some stuff out there. How do we start the process? Can you go through some of that stuff and get people familiar with it?
Absolutely. So the first thing I would ask you is, okay, do you have a CRM? And
for us, back in the day when we didn't have the internet, social media stuff, we're like, me and Anthony literally had to Google what the hell that was.
Yeah.
Because we're like,
well, let's start there. Tell us what Tell us what it is.
Don't know. So there's a lot of people.
Yeah, sure.
Blair, I'm amazed that you got into this because we're using stuff
You told me what we're going to be talking about, and I said, man, I'm going to have to look this shit up.
Yeah, this conversation happens a lot. So,
and then I messed around and got busy and didn't do it. So now I'm sitting here like a puppet.
Okay, all a CRM is on the bare surface or the bare like core of a CRM. All it is a glorified spreadsheet. What it is it's really trying to capture all your customer information into a single place and store it somewhere digitally. So, you know, I have a long history in the window siding and door industry. And when I first got in there 10, 12 years ago, everything was in folders, physical folders. Like it was like, here's the job, print version, everything on paper. And
I remember those days.
Yeah. And so that imagine a whole filing cabinet of all those folders, but it's digital. That's really the base of what a CRM is. So all the fancy stuff on top of a CRM, that's just extra bells and whistles. But the core foundation of a CRM is really your client database, your customer database, your leads, anybody who's ever contacted your business, you want to store it somewhere. And that's what a CRM should do and does do. Yeah.
Okay,
now go into the process.
I'm using my mouth to shush you up right now. So we got John Voigt. I would say his name wrong. He said, oh, what did he say? He said something. Oh, what's up, Blair? We did your website painting, Virginia. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, John. Nice to see you.
Is on here. James Evans and Jacob Dell said, pigs too, especially with smoky barbecue sauce. We got Joey Smith. We got Chris Bertner on here and Stephen Tate. So, hey, guys. And Stephen Tate's a huge fan of guinea pigs as well. So, apparently, we have a bunch of guys that like guinea pigs and one that likes to eat them. So,
we don't judge.
Yeah.
I ate an iguana. We were on a cruise and we went on an excursion.
You ate an iguana?
We want an iguana.
You ate one?
I kid you not. What they did, some lady was there with a styrofoam thing and the bus pulled up and he handed it back. Shane took the biggest bites. They grilled this iguana whole because there were bones and scales and everything in it. It was disgusting. And it was spicy. So thank God Shane took the first bite and said it's spicy. So I did not have any iguana in my mouth at all.
No more iguana.
So you.
But you got some Pedro in your neck.
That's hilarious.
He's going to give all my vertebrae names just because I got cadavers up in there.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So to answer your question, to go back full circle here, what is a CRM? It's basically your client. It's where you store all your client data digitally. And if you don't have one of those, then the next question I would ask is, do you have a website? And most of the time people are going to say, yeah, I have a website. Okay. Do you have a form fill on your website? Yeah, I have a form fill. That's how they contact me. Okay. Where does that data go when somebody fills out your form? Well, it comes to my email, right? Or it comes to or something like that, right? Okay, cool. We figure these things out and we're able to extract where that information is coming from, and we're able to compile it into one big list. The bigger the list, the bigger the contacts, the higher the revenue is going to be, period. Right. It's a numbers game. So if you have the bigger that list and the more serious that you start to take that process right there, the more successful your company is going to be, because you have to be capturing everything that you can because of all the work that goes into you getting that form fill in the first place. You're doing marketing, you're doing good work, you're doing whatever you need to do. Someone goes to your website, they fill out your form, and you're not saving that data. That's where we try to come in and explain to a lot of business owners how important that is.
So what do you do with that data when you have it?
So what we do is a very specific thing, right? You can do a million things with that data. I could go on and on about all the cool things you could do with that. But what we do is we take that data, those names, those phone numbers, and we put it into one place. We go, all right, give us 3 to 5 days. We'll be right back. And we take that data and we clean it, we deduplicate, we organize it, we validate it, which means we make sure that we know what's a landline or what's a cell phone. If it's a toll-free number, if it's a fake number, a real number. And by the end of all of this process, we get a list of usually about 60 to 70% of the total that you gave us. And these are going to be real active cell phones. Then what we do is we come up with an offer with the business that works for them. And of course, we have things that we know that work. And we come up with an offer that fits their market. They typically have an idea of what they want to do. We just sort of massage it, edit it a little bit, make it a little bit sweeter. And then we automate text messages to go out to the people that are in that list.
So you talk dirty to data.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because you're massaging it, you're being sweet.
We're massaging it.
Okay, so
we're talking it real sweet.
Rudy, where you going with this?
I'm listening to him, and I'm just like, okay, so you're doing.
I mean, this is a PG show.
Are you sure you haven't eaten an iguana, Trudi? I'm not sure.
Not for long, Anthony. Not for long.
Yep.
You were getting real excited with Dad. It's getting warm up in here.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. But it is amazing because I used to own a marketing company, and I've been in the business of lead generation. And that's what made me realize there's a whole flip side to this marketing world where it's not about getting new leads as much as it is communicating with your old ones, your current ones. It's so important that people realize
that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a part of the groups for a couple months now, Trudi, and I see a lot of people saying, hey, who does, the best marketing to get me leads? I'm really slow right now, where you already have a lot of people right in front of you that know who you are. They know what you do. They've contacted you in the past, whether they've booked or not. At the end of the day, those are going to be the warmest leads, and you don't need to pay anything for them. So whether that's you calling people or texting them or whatever the case may be, that's definitely the golden ticket. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that like Google ads and SEO, all that stuff is very important, but we're here to definitely let people know how important what you already have in front of you is.
So with our wash company, it's totally different than the Panhandle, because Panhandle, I'm able to get out there and make a relationship with you guys, the washers, and not because I want your business. I just want your input, and we learn from each other, we grow. Networking is so important in the industry. But with our wash company, it's way different marketing standpoint, because I don't, with people buying stuff, your inventory, and we keep that. All you gotta do is do good customer service, and they'll come back. But with the washing, you can wash somebody's house, and then all of a sudden there's $99 for the first 1,000 square foot, and I'm just like, and they call them, and it's being in both businesses. It is so much more difficult to market to the pressure washing side as it is to what I'm doing.
Honestly, Trudi, that's kind of where I've seen their program shine. Because like you say, you see a guy 3 times a week. It's easy to keep a relationship. You know their kids' names. You know when they graduated high school. I
wish them happy birthday every dang day.
Yeah, absolutely. You wished me a happy birthday, and I thank you for it. It's with the pressure washing, or like say a landscaping company. Those guys are there once a week. So they're seeing their customers. They're making relations. Pressure wash guys were there once a year, twice a year. every other year, maybe. Most people wash it once a year. They do it every other year, depending on, situation. But this, and I've been a beta tester for Nick here since 22. October 22 is when I started. So I've been working with these guys for 4 years. I'm touching my clients usually at least once a month or every other month. Hey guys, it's Blair, blah, 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 with Capital City, just to, so it really keeps, everybody's heard the saying, your network is your net worth. It's all in who you know. It's like Anthony said earlier. Well, honestly, I don't have to do that much marketing and it definitely helped that I knew so many people and, so with all these clients, some of these people, when I first started with these guys, I hadn't done work for them in 5 years, but I still had them in my CRM. And I use Jobber. Everybody's heard of Jobber at this point in time. Salesforce is another one. Service Titan is another one. These guys can link to all those systems and just extract your data. They clean up your list. And, there's clients that I hadn't, I was legitimately getting texts back on my dashboard after they started sending them, like, who is this? Have you washed my house before? And of course, then I would say, yes, this is Blair Manning with Capital City Power Washing. And I would look in my CRM and Jobber, and I'd say, I washed your house back in, 2019. And they were like, oh, well, wonderful. Well, yeah, this special look sounds great. Sign me up, So it's a great, I hit a lot of different marketing areas in my marketing campaign. I do Google AdWords, Google local ads. I do print marketing, flyers, job signs, all of it. It is by far the best return on investment because these people know you've done good work for them before, or sometimes you might get a nasty text back. It was that little old lady or that crazy guy that couldn't figure out why you wouldn't clean the roof in the house for $150. No way, y'all are crazy.
Clean the whole house, but that doesn't include the roof. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't clean out the gutters and do my driveway all for $75.
Yeah, that's
the beauty of that is also that at that point in time, when you do get that nasty text message, you say, yeah, well, I'm so sorry. And then you hit a little button and it's a do not disturb button, and that client never gets contacted again. So, cool. And he drops automatically off your list. And so I've been doing this for so long that my list is really clean. I run this thing through the winter months. My list is fairly large. I've been in business since '96. I have a lot of. I think my list is about 8,200 people once it's been cleaned. So I will say that. You've got to have this data in order for this program to work for you. Yeah. It's essential to, but most guys are on Jobber or on Service Titan or on, Salesforce or something or even if you have a spreadsheet, these guys can pull this data and bring it in, put it in their system. Honestly, for the cost of this program, for the return, roughly in off season here, I was sending these things while snow was falling. We had 6 inches of snow on the ground. I was still booking anywhere from 3 to 5 jobs a day off of 60 text messages. Now during the summer months, I'm booking anywhere from, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I pulled all this data out of my CRM, but I'm booking anywhere from 4 to 10 jobs a day, $2,000 in revenue a day from 60 text messages going out to my clients, and they just drip them. Mm-hmm. And these same messages, it's one special. Hey, I want to come. It's Blair. We're running a spring special. get your house washed, your windows cleaned, and your gutters cleaned for X amount of dollars. Well, if you're not interested in that, we also have a such and such special, and they've really got this thing down to a science where, like, if the guy doesn't respond to you, then they kind of hit him with another little hook, and it's interesting. It's really truly amazing to see. I've also noticed that a lot of my client base now, instead of servicing them once a year, I'm getting them 2 to 3 times a year.
Yep.
So now I'm not only cleaning their gutters in the fall because they got me out of my flyer or my Reach magazine or Google AdWords, but I'm reminding them that, hey, guys, you need to clean your gutters in the spring too, or, hey, guys, it's time to do this. It's springtime, or it's fall, or, like in the winter, we ran a gutter guard special. Boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, gutter guard jobs just start flowing in. And the beauty of it also is now you're in front of that client. So you got over there for your $275 house wash special text. All right. But then now you're in front of them. You're getting the driveway. Yep. You're getting the driveway. You're getting the sidewalk. You're getting, and that client's reactivated. He's back in front of you, and you're paying pennies to get back in front of this client compared to dollars to win a new client.
Yeah.
And then these old clients, the close rate on these jobs are phenomenal, because they're just kind of like, oh, Blair, great to see you, Blair. Good to, you know what I mean? We've already done work. The trust is there. That initial bond has been already established between a service provider and a client. Yep. And so instead of closing 40% of your leads, you're pretty much closing 80 to 90% of these things. If they're interested, a lot of times they say, no, thanks, but let me know, or I'm getting right now 15 text messages a day saying, thanks, but we're going to wait for the pollen to be done, because I
get that a lot too.
And Richmond, Virginia, we get a ton of pollen with the pines. It's really,
Nick, I think it looks like you're going to get covered up. There's a lot of people you need to reach out to on here. There's about 3 of them. And said, reach out to him.
Yeah.
Richard Adams said, reach out to him.
Good.
There was another one. I think somebody asked how they get in contact with you. I think they finally found it.
Good.
Okay.
Awesome.
So if you want to give a shout out of how they get in contact with you.
So you can go to GoWash.io, which is GOWASH.io. And we have a calendar on there. You'll talk with me and Bobby. We'll talk with you. You book a time that works for you. We'll get on a call, see if we're a good fit, if it makes sense. And once we get past that part, it's real easy. We just work with you to get your list. Of course, what we do is we send over an NDA first, because this is your data, right? It's your data. You want to make sure that you're protected. So we send that over, and then we get going. Turnaround time is a week. We get, just to go back to the very basics of what we do, right? We get you a local phone number. So I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Bobby's in Richmond. Blair's in Richmond. That's 804. Wherever you guys are, wherever your business is, we'll get a local phone number for you. And we provide a platform. So that's a web-based platform and a mobile app that you can text through. So it's literally like you're getting a text message on your phone, but it's in an app, and you literally just text like you normally would. What we do is we take that list and we create an offer with you that you agreed upon. And we go, all right, cool. You like this offer? Yeah, let's go. Boom. Very next day, we send out text messages to your list, not your whole list, but we take usually somewhere between 20 to 40 to start new contacts going from this list every day. So if you have a list of, let's say, 1,000 people, you're like, all right, cool, let's start. We're going to most likely start with 20 to 40 a day, Tuesday through Friday. So Tuesday starts. We send out 40. You're going to start getting inbound messages of people going, hey, yeah, sounds good. Or no, I'm not interested, or whatever they're saying. You're just going to start getting communication happening. You go, okay. And you take over. So all we do.
Gonna be going ding, 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 ding.
That's cool.
And Anthony, it's really kind of shocking. Like in season, I honestly, all jokes aside, I had a separate person in my office that just had to respond to this stuff.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
most of my
just
stuff,
job.
Yeah. I'm probably I want to say 80% commercial. So, I mean, you know, and you know, it's just repeat customers. I mean, you know, first of the year, McDonald's sends me a list. My McDonald's, that a couple of them franchise companies that I do, they just send me a list of what needs to be done on what date it has to be done before the inspection comes in. So we pick a day, 2 days before that. We clean it. The line striper, parking lot stripers come in and they take care of the painting and all that stuff. The building needs to be touched up. After we wash it, they paint it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you know,
but I feel like that's more of a rarity than not. Am I right? Like that's a luxury. That's not necessarily our client base. Our client base is going to be residential. So,
well, we in this thing 26 minutes and 30 seconds, and Bobby's not said a word.
Oh, man, I'm ready to go whenever.
All right, Bobby.
We've just been talking, so let's let him.
Let me read the comments first, and we'll go to Bobby.
Yeah, okay.
So Alana said, Nick, preach. Don't forget your current and past clients. They already love you. John Voight said, this is cool stuff. Great job, Bobby and Nick. And then especially the first few months as a multitude of part-timers come out. I guess that was from something earlier. How do I get in touch with him? We already talked about that. Best way to reach you is call, text, or email.
So the best way to reach us is going to be go to the website and book on our calendar. It's really easy. Yep.
Or hit us on. You can hit me on Facebook. I'd be happy to talk to you there. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Just have a quick question.
Daniel and Kat, hey, said hey to me, so hey to you. Let me see. What about the new guys who don't have leads yet? Is there a way you guys can help?
Absolutely.
There you go, Bobby.
Bobby, answer that one. You can
Anthony set me up for the alley-oop. Thank you, sir. No, I mean, first off, we just want to thank you both for having us because first off, more than like we have a service for this, but at the same time, we will definitely want to educate people as well, especially people that maybe don't have a list like Blair has that has 8,000 contacts in it. What we are basically doing at the very bare bones is keeping in front of your existing clients. Now, our service, it's automated and we do it all for you. So, you know, it gets to a point where you're out there washing, maybe you're managing a team. We're here as a resource to do that all for you. But if you're starting out and you have a list, gather the data. Make sure anybody that submits a form on your website, calls you, you're keeping track of it. Even if you don't have a CRM, you know, there's definitely free tools out there. You know, even if you use a Google Sheet, it could be as simple as that. Mm-hmm. Keep track of all of your data because at the end of the day, they know who you are. We've said it a couple of times. They know who you are. They know what you do. And really, whenever you're slow, let's say you're having a slow week and you realize, oh, hey, let me look at my past jobs. I did this job back April of last year. I'm going to hit them up and see if they'd be interested in a service. You know, you don't even necessarily have to offer them something, but you could just say, hey, it's Bobby with Bobby's Power Washing. Would love to see you guys again if you'd be interested in a wash on your house. So that's what we're really here to do, is to educate you first off. Of course, we'd like to tell you about what we do, but especially starting out, make sure you're capturing all of that data and strategically using it throughout growing your business, because it is a gold mine at the end of the day.
Bobby, real quick, correct me if I'm wrong. And again, I've been dealing with you guys since 2022, so I'm not sure things might have changed. But when you guys first started out, for the guys with the smaller lists, you also had a what is the thing that you scan with your phone? The
a QR. Yep.
You had a QR code program that
Right.
For limited funds, very minimal, or even like I don't want to speak about money because it's not my company, but it was a great program. I used it as well. We would put it in our mass emails. We would put it on our print marketing. We would put it on our job site signs that you spread all out. And then when the client scans that QR code and enters their information or whatever, it would drop into a spreadsheet that Nick had and Bobby had under your account. And it was amazing just off of the various advertisements and that you already had out there just by adding this QR code, how quickly a person with very few contacts could really accumulate a large scale amount of contacts and really generate a list. So, I mean, these guys really kind of helped also. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, so my list is there, but I used it for a younger business that I had. And that QR code program brought in, it was kind of flabbergasting how many contacts I was able to gather in like 1 month, 2 months.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that even if right now, say you're just kind of starting out, you've got 200 contacts in your CRM, I strongly suggest that you still reach out to these guys. I mean, I don't know if they'll even bill you or not, but get them to hook this QR code up, put it on your marketing in a small corner someplace. You'd be amazed at how many people just can't wait to scan that damn thing with their phone. You know what I mean? I'm scared that the gremlins are going to get at me, but people everywhere are scanning these things. And it was literally for this it was a non-pressure washing business that I owned.
Were you selling plants, Blair? Oh, that was last week.
That was last week. We ain't slinging no green this week.
Well,
but I mean, it's a pretty good program.
He ain't even signed up yet to be on here. He ain't even come in to join the chat. He's in Orlando right now, so
he'll sell you $1,000 damn plant. I tell you what.
Who's this?
Barry Little.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like Barry, man. Barry's funny. He's got presence. But again, just to kind of touch on it, for the little guys that the list is small, you really ought to still just reach out to these guys because it might not pay you this season, and you might not have to pay them this season. I'm not sure what they would. That's between y'all, but by next season, you would be amazed that you might have 6, 7, 8, 900 of these people where you can turn around and at the first of every month or the first of every other month, you blast 800 text messages or you send them out slowly, whatever. I just can't stress enough the dividends this pays. It's just. It really is a very important thing because the closure rate is just so darn high. I mean,
I think
it's not 40%, it's 80 or 90% closure.
Yeah,
because the trust is there. These guys love you already. You've already been working.
The relationship is there. They've already given you their information, which is that's what we call consent, right? You hear about consent, all these things, like consent, not just in a sexual way, Trudi, like you were saying.
I didn't even go there.
I mean, consent as in when somebody gives you their data, right? Somebody gives you their data. They consent to give you their data, and they consent for you to communicate with them. So, with the QR code, like what Blair's talking about, I mean, this is something that goes back to the basics of what we do, right? We're here to take your list and generate revenue with it. So the bigger your list, the more revenue that we can generate with it. And how do you get your list bigger? Well, you have to capture data. So when we first started, we were actually doing this for restaurants. And how we were gathering data was because we go into a restaurant, very successful restaurant here in Richmond. How big's your list? We don't have a list. So you're telling me that every customer comes in here and you're not capturing their information at all? And that what are you talking about? I'm like, okay, let's try something. So we put a QR code with an offer on the table that said, scan this for $5 off your next meal. Not this meal, but your next meal. And they go, oh, heck yeah. They scan it, boom, 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 boom. Then we automate text messages to bring them back.
So their information automatically went into a system.
Exactly.
So y'all guys automatically have it right there.
Yep. And we said, you don't have a list? Well, let's build you a list very quickly. And we did that with QR codes because all the customers that are having coming in, now they're scanning. And we built that list very quickly to 500 people, I think, in the first 2 weeks. And this was a long time ago. And we're like, all right, let's try to reactivate this list. And we sent out a text that was something very, very, I think it was like, hey. And we waited like a minute. And then we sent another one and we said who it was. It's the restaurant. We're offering this thing. But in that meantime, the phone line was ringing so much at their restaurant that they had to shut the phones off. So, hey, it's Taco Tuesday. Come on down, $5 tacos. Or hey, it was, and we took this concept and started testing around different industries. And we found home services kills it. And pressure and power washing it works so well because it's what Blair said earlier. It's one of those businesses that typically you're going to get a power wash or pressure wash every year, maybe every other year. But with this, you're staying in front of them so much that you're reinventing the problem that's already there for them. And you're saying, hey, look, oh yeah, I do have a problem. My house does look like shit or does look bad. It does look bad. And yeah, you're right. I could use that offer. And then they text you back, and now you have multiple jobs a day coming through it. But it's all starting with the list. If you don't have a list, you can't do this.
But it would work for me if I had a list of property management groups.
Absolutely.
A list of phone.
I was gonna
have to have the phone numbers, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I was going to mention that to you earlier, Anthony, that you were saying, well, this doesn't really apply to me because I deal with this guy at McDonald's and this guy here and this, but it still does. But this, you're touching your clients. So like say for your list, it's a bunch of property managers. You've got contracts with these guys. You're good. You've got the work for the year.
Uh-oh.
No, he froze.
I don't need a special promotion.
He has cut out. He must have paused himself.
No, he froze. I was looking at his lilac walls. I like the lilac. Was that you or your wife?
Who?
Blair, look at the lilac walls.
Oh, yeah.
No, catches your eyes, Blair.
It does catch his eyes. I'm like, it's complimenting you, Blair.
I thought you said somebody was peeking in his window or something.
Yeah.
We finna see a drive-by.
But
I'm going to take him out. That made him mad up there.
I live in Virginia. That don't happen very often there unless
but Anthony, in your shoes, I mean, you could just simply say, hey guys, just checking in, wanted to thank you again so much for supporting and Anthony, what's the name of your company? I'm sorry.
Southern Surface Cleaning and Pressure Washing.
Southern Surface Cleaning Pressure Washing. We really appreciate you supporting us through these years, and just let me know if there's any incidentals or one-time service cleanings, or you don't necessarily have to shove a give me money down your throat. It can still just be used as a damn. You know what?
Hey,
Anthony
I'm
really
here.
actually gives a shit. Anthony actually reaches out to me every quarter, checks on me to see if I'm actually okay. Do I need anything? He actually appreciates me writing him a check every month. So, I mean, you don't necessarily, even if like for you, like you're good to go. You've signed a contract. The work is yours one way or the other through the end of 2025. But you want to make sure you have that work in 2026 and 2027. Yeah. So I'm not necessarily saying Brown knows these people, but keep up with them.
Yeah, you are.
You know, you understand what I'm getting at is this system doesn't just have to be, hey man, I'll come do it. Here's my deal. Give me your money. It can also just be, hey, your list would be smaller because you're obviously one client's giving you 90 jobs. So it would be a very inexpensive way for you to just check in with your client base, keep them happy, keep your name on their lips. You know, that's a really important thing in our industry when, you know, that McDonald's guy might see, I mean, Jesus, these days, you drive down the road, you see 45 power wash for not, you know, yard site signs. So that guy might say, you know what? I've forgotten about Anthony. I don't really remember the good conversation we had 3 years ago. You know what? I'm going to call this guy and see if he'll do it.
I'll try to.
It's cheaper.
I'll reach out to him. I mean, I'll stay in contact with my people.
If it's commercial,
you know, it's monthly, if not once a week, just to say, hey, y'all need anything or whatever. Like I do a lot of work for Raceway at gas stations. You know, my guy from him, man, I talk to him probably once a week. You know, if we're ready to go, anything you need, you know, same thing with the Circle K bunch too. You know, I reach out to them about once, twice a month, you know, because
I'd say
that's just so I do, man. I mean, you know, really,
but
I'm set up to for me, for myself. It's set up good for me.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I'm just kind of pointing out.
Growing, but I don't need to grow too much faster because if I do, I'm not going to be able to do the work.
Sure.
You have to build a relationship and a rapport with your people so they remember you.
Yep.
And so,
your network is your net worth. It's just like Trudi says, you know, I mean, she takes care of her clients and they keep shopping with her and shopping. I mean, I've got guys that I know here in Richmond that buy from Trudi loyally, you know, because they like Trudi. She takes care of her clients and she stays in front of them and she cares about the industry, you know, but Trudi is touching her clients twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, you know, or once a month. But we're touching our clients once a year, twice a year. If we're lucky, some of them every other year, some of them every 3 years, once every 3 years. So it's just a really good way to, you know, because one of the little tricks that Nick and Bobby do with their texts is they'll put your name in there. You know, like I'm not sending these things, but it's like, hey, it's Blair with capital, you know, and I'll get these texts back, you know, I'm doing this, and some girl's at the desk and she's answering texts, and it's like, it's like, hey Blair, great to talk to you. We're good right now, but you know we're gonna call you in the spring, and you know, and then the girl of course answers back with a polite, we can't wait to see you, you know. But again, these people are not necessarily on board that, hey, this is just an automated marketing.
Yeah, that's the sauce, right?
It's like your face, but they're sending the message.
I mean, it technically, it really is actually coming from the business owner's mouth, though, because we're never going to send out anything that's not approved, right? So we go through, we create the offer. Hey, it's Blair, or hey, you know, John, it's Blair, and we go from the offer from there. And it's coming from a local phone number. It's not a 5-digit number like you get from everything else, where it's like super spammy.
What you mean? Your expired auto?
Or like, you know, you have a
warranty.
You have a UPS,
oh my gosh! So
UPS package that like you need to pick up or something. Like, no, this isn't. This is it's coming from a local number, and you'd be amazed that how many people never respond. We'll do dozens of campaigns, and they'll finally respond, and it'll be a job. So it's like, you look through that because you can see the history of the conversation in our platform. You can see it all, just like in a regular text message. You can scroll. You see, we've hit them with 7 different offers, and they finally said, "Yeah, why don't you come out like next week?" It's like, okay, so Yeah.
Definitely, Nick. If I can hop in here, that's definitely our goal. Is number one with GoWash, we are here to make it a completely done for you service. So we're always kind of running in the background for you. Number two, we are here to make what we're doing, the texts, the campaigns, whatever they may be, as personalized as possible. So like Blair said, it sounds like if Anthony were to send me a campaign, it would sound like he's just reaching out to me personally. It's from a local phone number. It's personable. And that's kind of our goal, is to really line people up to just get ready to respond to people willing to pay.
And honestly, Anthony, to think of it, you could just use this to save yourself about 3 hours of your life every other week and just send 35 property managers the same text message. Hey guys, just checking in. Want to make sure everything's good. Everything's fine. Thanks so much. And then wait for them to respond. Otherwise, well, you've checked in with them, you know.
I mean,
like you can saying you kind of always check in with your people all the time, you know.
Technically,
so this could technically maybe save you a couple of hours of your life just by, you know.
I mean, Blair, I've thought about using it for dating. You know, you can just.
Good luck.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, you can.
Hey, there's a name. I'm lonely enough.
Certainly use it for anything, but it definitely works when you have a larger list, and because you're going to get your ROI back. And so the pricing, right? What is the pricing of this? Bobby's probably the best at explaining how this goes. But
I mean, even before that, Anthony and Trudi, as people who are hearing about GoWash for the first time, does what we're explaining, does it all make sense to you? Do you have any questions? We'd love to hear if you have any.
I do, because when my husband says GoWash, I just go and jump in the truck.
You know, that's none of my business. I'll stay out.
Well, Trudi, with them handling your SMS text message marketing, you can just go jump in the truck.
Hey, there you go.
GoWash. There you go. They got you covered in the backside.
So let me read a couple comments before we get back to this. So Alana Martinez said that she bought, Barry sold her 4 after the stream. I'm not sure what she bought and what plant he was selling to her, but she owns Dab Marketing, so we can just put 2 and 2 together and figure that out. And then when you froze, Blair, Marty said the peeping Tom wants to talk to him about the car warranty. And when I was doing this, my fingernail polish matched your paint. Well,
it looks like, don't it?
I know, like Marty.
I didn't know what you was doing. I thought you was trying to give somebody the finger or something like, you
know. So Tracy Gaines. Oh.
That's my queen.
Oh, yeah, she said hello. You said hello. Is she on here?
Yeah, she was. I think she still is.
Keeping track of you because you're my pressure washing husband. Even though my pressure washing husband's over there, you're one of my boys, and got to keep eyes out on you.
Who was that?
So you had 6 inches of snow, and Florida had 7. How did that work?
I don't know. I lived in Tampa. I can't ever imagine Tampa, Florida having snow. Period, but. You know, I don't know how y'all got that snow. That was wild.
It was insane. Like the whole area, the whole panhandle up here shut down with no post office. We got no mail. The grocery store was shut. The gas stations. Nobody knew how to drive in this stuff.
They couldn't go. They couldn't function. They didn't know what to do.
No,
there probably wasn't a single ounce of rock salt in the entire state when that stuff came down. My wife joked. She said,
"Did you see?"
She put a video out with people on back of their truck with salt boxes going.
I posted that. Come here, Bubba. What you doing?
My wife made a joke and said Trump must have fixed global warming too.
Okay. You don't have to kiss. Say hi.
Oh boy!
Oh yeah.
Enough.
He
He loves his mom. I might spoil him just a bit. So, any other ones? Oh, Alana said that Barry sold her the good kind.
The good kind.
Oh boy!
I know. What kind of plants he's slinging.
Well, I mean, if it's $1,000 a plant, yes, I guess so. I don't know, but okay. So, if anybody, Blair, you were talking about price before I cut you off to read the
No,
comment.
not me. I don't
Bobby,
make
don't
anything.
talk
Bobby,
about
I'm
it.
not
not
Blair,
connected
sorry.
to it.
I was
That's
getting
their
molested
business.
by my dog. It's a whole bunch of stuff in here. But
I,
okay,
tr- I,
Bobby,
I
the
did.
price thing you were
I
talking
did try to buy into their business early,
Yeah, no.
about 4 years ago, but that offer was refused. I
Oh,
was
no.
so happy with the results. I tried to get Nick to sell me a share or two of the company. But
All right, Bobby, so I call you
he's
up.
holding on to that one.
Apparently, you're not talking dirty enough, Blair.
Yeah.
You got to know you got to pick up what he's putting down. He's massaging,
Yeah.
he's being sweet and all that kind of stuff. So you got to, I
Watch
might be
out,
able
man.
to buy into it.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see.
Better watch it. Yeah.
All right, Bobby, so what does it cost to get somebody started on something like this?
Yeah. Well,
You sitting over, I mean, you just got to jump in.
Oh, no.
Hey,
Really,
it's my time.
blow the whistle. So we definitely want to give everybody who is watching this podcast a little bit of a discount. If you come from this podcast and you decide to book a call with us, just mention the Panhandle Expo, and we will definitely give you a nice discount to just show you the power of what we have and how we're trying to help folks out. So we have a pretty easy pricing scale, and it starts with a la carte. That is, if you come to me and your list is, it could be 100 people, it could be 5,000 people, whatever the case may be, and you say, hey, I want to send 500 people. We just do as simple as $1 a contact. So what that does is it covers the messaging fees for the text that we send out, covers the text for the customer texting you back. We get you set up. We get you compliant with the carrier fees. It's called A2P DLC. We take care of that for you. And with that, it's just $1 a contact if you'd like to do that. Now, moving up, if you have a bigger list, such as Blair, we definitely give a little bit of a discount. So if you have a list of, let's say, 3,000 contacts and you'd like to send those over a month or two, depending on how many we can send, we'll definitely give you a lesser rate per contact. And then, if you want to go 5,000 and up, it will definitely give you a custom quote. But for anybody that comes from the podcast, Nick and I were really trying to think of a really good deal to give y'all. And if you mention the podcast, we would like to give you 2,000 contacts, and we would just charge you 50 cents per contact. So just $1,000 for 2,000, and we'll definitely be excited to see how much revenue you have coming in.
Yeah. And just to clarify, so per contact means, hey, it's about to be springtime. You want to run a campaign. Campaign is get your whole house clean for X amount of dollars. Cool. We will put that contact into that campaign of text messages. That is. So you could do this however you want, but typically people like to do it every quarter, every spring, fall, summer, winter. You have a list of 3,000 people. Cool. 3,000 people, you get the discount. I'm not sure exactly what that math is, but it's less than $3,000. Whatever that math is, Bobby, I'm not sure. But you would take that list and you would go, okay, cool. Well, I want to have steady business coming in over the next 3 months. I want to take that 3,000 people. I'm going to do 1,000 people a month. That way, it's just going to be steady appointments coming in during the season. And Guess what? Next season, hopefully, if you're taking care and you're actually tracking your data coming in, that list is going to be larger. And so it's a compounding effect. So over time, the list just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we weed out the people that are just never going to buy from you anyways. Right. They just go over here and we just continue to reactivate that database. It's really all marketing is.
So sound like y'all giving a pretty good deal.
Hell yeah.
We think so. Y'all give that little discount, man. Trudi gets our cut. Y'all ain't gonna make nothing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Just to give you a perspective on what like the value of a contact is, Blair, for example, if you want to chime in, we usually send about 60 texts a day for Blair. So 60 contacts get reached out to a day for Blair. And Blair, if you want to chime in, on average, how many jobs do you usually see getting booked per day out of those 60?
And I pulled this from Jobber out of my CRM. In the off season right now, like I said, I never cut these things off. Nick will tell you, I call them in the middle of the night if my texts aren't going out, because this is lifeblood. This basically keeps an entire truck just busy 5 days a week for me. In the off season, I'm booking anywhere from 3 to 5 jobs a day, roughly anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a day in revenue. Some of them might be gutter cleans or something for $150 or $175 or whatever. But during the season, I usually run the special I love, and I've got to change it because it's getting dull, but is a house wash, gutter clean, and window cleaning, exterior window cleaning special, which is well over up into the $600 to $700 range to start. And then of course goes up with square footage. We all know the game. But I close anywhere from 4 to 10 of those a day.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's off 60 text messages. So, I mean, and these are factual numbers. I can tell you with a certainty. And again, I don't own this company. I don't get paid by these guys. Anybody that knows me will tell you that I'm a straight shooter. Ask around. I'm not BSing. I'm really actually truly trying to help two guys that have got a really good thing here, and then also help all you guys out make money. I closed almost $400,000 in revenue, not profit, revenue, total revenue generated in 2024 on Go Lily.
Mm-hmm.
So when Bobby reached out to me, I'm like, hey, you got references? What, I don't know what you do. I haven't used you. I'm not going to put you out in front of the people that I know. And he said, Blair Manning. I'm like, okay, you're in. And you can ask Bobby, because
it's like a
key
to the kingdom there, Bobby.
Well,
so
I appreciate that, Trudi.
Ice on the table.
And as soon as you said that, I'm like, this is a person I trust. So everybody can be in my circle until I can't trust you anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't go by. So if Anthony said, hey, Blair's a piece of crap, he did this to me, and I'll be going, oh, I'm sorry, but I'll still be friends with Blair because he might have had a bad day. I always have people in my circle, and everybody's in my circle until they're not. So when Bobby called me or messaged me, and I'm like, well, I need references, and he said Blair, I'm like, okay, that's good, we're done. So I'm like, let's do it next week. And we got it scheduled, and it was there. So I know with you, Blair, being in the industry this long, it means a lot when your name comes up, because I know you're not trying to make $1 off somebody else's back.
No.
And that's what, when he said your name, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're good. I need one reference, and you just said it. So that's what I need. And,
I appreciate it.
He just knew what name to say.
Very, very kind of you, Trudy. I think, I like to call us the old heads. You're one of them. I'm one of, we've been doing this and we're at a point where we're at this point, and now we're looking out for not only just the industry as a whole, but these younger guys coming up. And it's, I just trying to help people. I say it 100 times a day. There's plenty of work out there. I don't care, if you, go get yours, I'll get mine. We're all going to get ours. There's no reason to be nasty to somebody or cutthroat somebody, or, the work is out there. It'll get done. Everybody will do much better if we work together as a team on this thing, and as a brotherhood, so to speak, as we're in an industry here together. So I really wouldn't be sitting here on a Thursday night at 10 o'clock p.m. without having seen my kids and my wife yet from getting home from work if I didn't believe in these guys and their program. And I mean, are they trying to make some money? Of course they are. Everybody is. That's
what we're in business for.
We all have to do that. But these guys legitimately are selling a quality product that it has performed for me. Like I say, since what was my date? October 2022. I started, and I think I might have missed maybe 3 days of text messages with the exception of Saturday and Sunday since October 2022. That's
because
how much
you were painting that room lilac. That was your 3 days.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So we have a question here. We have, they gather your existing customer list and upload it into their system. No, that wasn't. Oh, so how does the GoWash systems know who to send text to?
Yeah, it's super easy, super simple. We work with you to get the list of contacts that you would like us to text. It's nothing that we're deciding by ourselves. We're working with you to strategize exactly who you want to send it to. We're strategizing the offer with you. That's why it's all done for you. We're here to have your backs. And if there's somebody you don't want to send a text to, we take them off the list. But it all comes from your list of clients. We're not out here buying data or buying lists from anybody. It's just everything that's coming from your own business. And if you weren't here earlier in the call, Nick mentioned that we do sign an NDA with you, so all of your data is safe with us.
Mm-hmm.
So Jim Brown also said, yes, but my CRM has over 900
clients.
Wonderful.
Yeah, bigger the list, the better.
Yeah. We've worked. I mean, like Blair said, he has 8,200 contacts. We've worked with people. We worked with a guy from Roanoke, actually, Trudi, last week or two, and I think his list was right around 900. So we work with lists of all sizes, as long as we are here to help you out and make your day-to-day easier, because we know you're running a business. You can definitely use us, and we'll help you out in any way, shape, or form that we can.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yep.
So there's no more
Been a
questions.
pretty good one. Boy, that hour went by quick.
I know.
No way.
I know. And me and you barely talked. That was awesome.
Hey, that's cool.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway, we're closing.
Yeah.
Nick, we'll start with you.
I would like to offer Nick and Bobby, if they're interested, to come and do a class at the Panhandle event in November.
Oh, yeah.
Free training to get you businesses. We have anywhere from,
It's awesome.
we have almost 400 contractors last year. And if you want to do a free training, get some business and teach these people what they need to do to grow theirs, that would be amazing.
That would be great.
Blair, you should come down too, so you can finally meet me.
Oh yeah, I swear, Trudy, I'm going to come actually stand in front of you.
Yeah, let's go.
Last 5 years, I don't know.
We'll all hop on a plane.
I tried to get down for the last one, and I've got a lot of kids, Trudy. It's hard to move
Bring
around.
them all. They're all having a good time.
There's
You put them on the beach,
them
and the wife,
while you're
kids on the
doing your
beach,
thing.
and you over across the street.
No, but if these boys come on down, I'll jump on a plane with them and come on down, and we'll get together this year. I promise.
We'll see you in November, because I think they coming.
Oh, we got
Hey, if I'm free, I'm there, and I hope you're ready to drink some margaritas.
I'll be there.
Don't worry, we got the condo right next door. We got the drinks flowing over there. We have
Where is the expo this year, Trudy?
Panama City Beach.
Panama City
as last year. It was a good location. We loved it.
Great location.
Do you have the
a lot of people stayed across the street on the beach.
It is the first.
3 towers over there. And then someone stayed next to the expo.
Nice.
So I reached out to the lady that helped me book this last year, called her, but it's going to be the first. I might do a 3-day. The paid classes are going to be while we're setting up, and then the next 2 days is going to be the free event. But it's going to be the first Wednesday and Thursday of November.
Okay.
So, before you leave, there's one late joiner. My current CRM has a mass text capability. What would make yours different?
Yes.
Yes. Glad you asked that. So we get this a lot, and it's not necessarily about features here. It's about the fact that we know exactly what time people are most likely to respond. We know how to word offers, and we have the automation that you simply can't really build this yourself. You could if you're really skilled with your CRM, but it's not really about the technology as much as it is about the messaging, the timing, and the consistency of it. So you can certainly text. You could probably select all your contacts and send one text, but can you send a text if they don't reply within a certain amount of time? Again, can't, and that's something that you may or may not be able to do. And then what happens after that? You just let them, you just try again some random time, or do you let that be automated, that whole process? If they don't reply this time, they're automatically going to get hit up in 33 and a half days, because that's what we found has been the right timing for that.
Definitely. And you have us as a resource. Nick has countless years of experience with home services, definitely thinking outside of the box. And you, with GoWash, you get us as well. It's not just a CRM that you click a button. There's a lot of thought and strategy and a lot of personability that goes into it as well.
Yep.
So if you got 500 contacts and you're given $1 contact, that's $500. Is that a month, or is that
per campaign? So
it's $1 every time you send one of them 500 customers.
Not one message, but one campaign. So it's called a workflow, which is going to get a little technical here, but basically think about a pipeline, right? You have an entry point, you have an exit point.
Yep.
And let's say that there's a hole right in the middle of the pipeline that is an exit before you get to this longer exit. Somebody enters, we try what we can, get them to respond. If they don't respond at all, they just exit out like normal. And then we take that same person. You want to do it again with a different offer? Cool. That's going to be another $1. And we try again with that campaign, different messaging. Now, if we put them into the campaign for $1 and they respond, boop, they go up. And that's when you get the notification. That's when you start messaging yourself. And that's $1. So anytime you put somebody into the campaign, it's $1. So you could theoretically, you could take the same person and put them into a campaign every single day if you wanted to. Wouldn't recommend that, but you could. Theoretically, but so it's not per text. It's not anything like that. It's actually per campaign. So per offer, if that makes it an easier way to like understand it.
Definitely. And if you're just doing the math on it from what Blair was saying with his results, even if you were just to send 100 for $100, the results that he's getting just off that alone, I mean, pays for itself and much more from it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so me, when you were saying put it in a pipe, my mind went to blend. Sorry, my voice. So the manifold, the blend manifold. You don't know because you're not in pressure washing, but that's what I was thinking. You got an entry, exit, and then you got your output. Just so you know, when you come to teach at the event, learn blend manifold. You got it. Put it in the pressure.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm ready to take the Trudi course. Send it my way.
Yeah. Sign me up.
I'll teach you before you come down.
No,
Right? Yeah. So
sign me up.
That's right.
we're not plumbers, we're washers. So you gotta get that blend manifold going.
There you go.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get it tattooed.
That too.
It'll be my first one. I don't have any, so that'll be a real
perfume. That's what you need.
There you go. Chlorine.
It is. I will say it is a bit more expensive than say mass emails or something like that. But I really can't. I can't stress to you guys enough that the beauty of it too is like you can budget this thing. So I mean, like say guys right now they're running $400 a month on Facebook ads. Okay, well fine. So you turn around, you tell Nick that, hey, Monday through Friday, I want 20 text messages sent. You're still, with my numbers, with what I'm returning on, you're still going to book 2 jobs a day off $20 a day. I mean, who in the world
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas email marketing, I mean, I track that on my CRM when I send it through Jobber. Jobber offers free email marketing. I send one every month to all my clients. It's got like a 23% open rate. These things, they're either opening it and fussing at you and saying, don't ever send me one again, or, hey, how'd you get my number? Or, God, Blair, it's so great to see you. Come wash my house. And, hey, my neighbor needs hers done. And, or you see what I'm getting at. So say like my list is 80 to 8,200 people cleaned up and DMD'd and all that stuff. But I don't send all those like once a month. I stretch this thing out over, I'm only doing 60 texts a day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can, if say you're a guy, you're sitting there with a 7,000 person list, don't think that, well, damn, I got to spend $7,000 a month.
Right.
That's absurd. You would honestly, you would still make money. It would still be a good investment. I promise you, but you wouldn't be able to handle all that work. So, like Nick when we first started this thing, I was, again, the beta, the guinea pig. He started out, we were sending text messages twice a day. And that's another beautiful thing about Go Lily is I can say, Nick, tomorrow I'm not going to be in the office until after 2. Don't send these text messages until after 2. I don't need any more on my plate this morning. Like if you're using Thrive or one of these CRMs that allows you to send 50 text messages a day or whatever, you just kind of hit a button. You've got to deal with all that stuff. You've got to do all that stuff. But when we first originally started out with this thing, I was like, Nick, hammer me, man. And he was sending out 250 in the morning at 10 o'clock. And then at 2 o'clock, he was sending out another 250. 500 text messages were flying, and I'm not even BSing you here. Like the girls in my office were like ready to quit. It was just phones ringing, they're typing, we're sending quote. I had to basically call them and be like, look, man, you got to cut this thing off. We got to get our heads wrapped around this thing, and so. Just because you're thinking, wow, I got 8,000 people, I got to spend 8,000 a month. No, you can touch those 8,000 people over 3 months, or you could just say, hey, send me $500 worth this month. And I still promise you will probably quadruple or if not, more than that, your spend, so you can make this thing as big or as small as you kind of want it. And they can just set it and forget it.
And the more you have, the less it is per contact.
So if you're chucking the truck and you're just a one-man operation, as opposed to, a guy that's got 10 trucks working every day, is chucking the truck, is he like your customer, or should he grow more before he contacts you?
That's a great question.
It
depends on what. So it depends, honestly. If you have any less than 500 contacts, step one, I would recommend you start gathering. If they're spread everywhere, get your contacts together and get it to a point to where you have around 500. If you have less than that, then we will still work with you, of course. But it's not going to be as effective as if you have more than 500. And once you get to that point. At that point, now you can start to see some serious results because, we just launched a guy last week that had 584, I think. 584, and we ran through a list. He's like, oh yeah, keep it coming, and he'll just purchase that 584 every so often, and the next time we get the list, it might be at 700. Because
there's kind of a flip side to it too, Trudi. It's if you are the chuck of the truck. You don't want to be texting your list of 500 clients because you're out there doing the work. Right. That's what we're here to do, to kind of run in the background. So every day around whatever time we strategize, just be around to answer some phone calls and some text messages. So there's definitely two sides to it, but definitely the more list, the bigger the list, definitely the better it is for sure.
Yeah, but it works even if your list is, even if it's 50 people and you get that right client. Who knows? I mean, it's not going to be producing results like Blair's does every day for them, but it's just something to think about. And the more important thing here, I think, is to really like get home the point of how important it is to start collecting this data, because once you get that data, we could have a whole nother session on what you can do with that data when it comes to understanding your target audience and where they are, who they are, what they like to do on a Saturday. I mean, you can figure out everything through data, but this just scratches the surface of that. And any business that wants to scale needs to treat their data intake very seriously. And that's
awesome.
Yeah.
I would also say, Trudi, even if you are chucking a truck, and I mean, look, our industry is full of one-man armies, man.
Yes.
We are a one-man army industry. You know, I mean, a lot of companies never get past one man. A lot of companies don't ever want to get past one man, and that's perfectly fine. But I would still say, if you got 400 guys in your system, reach out to these guys anyway. Have a conversation with them. Get them to set up the QR code stuff. Start trapping this information. You're busy. You're washing 4 houses a day. You know, you got to come home to your wife, your kids. You didn't put it in the CRM. You didn't do this. Well, these guys can be capturing that information for you, growing your list for you. It's all automatic. They set it up. Forget it. Everybody forgets it. I mean, I think, honestly, everybody would just be amazingly shocked that if you gave these guys 12 months and you actually put that scan, whatever the crap it is, QR on all your marketing leaflets, your flyers, your job site sign, you know, whatever. I think you would be just flabbergasted by how quickly and I mean, seriously, let's face it, a one-man army, guys, what are we doing? All jokes, what are we doing? We're doing 500, 600 jobs a year. If you're closing 30% of your existing clientele and you've got 1,500 people in your campaign, I mean, are we doing the math here? Right. You got 500 jobs right there. You don't have to do marketing. You don't have to do Facebook. You don't have to TikTok it and do all this other crazy stuff. I mean, you just have to take care of the people that already have taken care of you, you know?
Bingo.
And you know, and then branch off on some sort of referral thing to keep, you know, people always move and die and get older and move into condos or apartments or whatever. But, you know, the point being is I stress this to everybody. This program, this and mass emails and all of it has really just driven it home for me, the importance of capturing your clients and keeping up with them. It's just like, you're not going to not rinse their windows well. You're not going to not rinse their plants off and kill their plants or, you know, spray bleach all over their car. You're going to take care of your client. You're also taking care of the relationship with this client by touching them, speaking to them, contacting them, staying first of mind. I mean, you might not get the job immediately, but because you texted that client 3 times this year, you might not get forgotten and then lose the job next year when the $99 guy knocks on the door and is like, "Hey, I'm doing your neighbors. I can just hit yours real quick while I'm here." No thanks. Blair's been messaging me all year. I got a guy. I'm good.
I mean, it's as simple as Merry Christmas, Happy Easter. Just
amen. I mean, your business, Trudi, like your database, and I know you send out mass emails and everything like that, but I mean, you could even implement this into a retail wholesale of you know, hey, I'm running a GRT3 unloader special this month, $15 off, you know, a limit of 2 per client, you know, and then boom, think about that. You know, your database is probably absurd. With
everybody in America.
I mean, seriously, think about that. If you drop that and you were hitting 300 people up every day, like, "Hey, Blair, it's Trudi. I got this Whisper Wash 18-inch on for $69 off today."
Whisper Wash has 16 and 19-inch.
Well, you know.
Sorry. Didn't mean to call you out. Just had to correct you.
No, but the point being is, this thing can be used in a lot of different manners, and I mean, Trudi better than anybody. Your clients they're your people, they're your tribe, they're your family. You take care of them, they're going to take care of you, and this is just nurturing your clients, man. This is just taking care of. And I would much rather pay $1 or $4 a year for my client and get that job if I send them 4 campaigns than pay Google AdWords $36 per conversion.
Yeah.
Okay, nurturing is a better way to say it than massaging and sweetening.
Yeah, we'll go with nurture. Sure.
But either way, and it's also on a side note. I know I've just run my mouth the whole time. I'm sorry. I'm not a talker. But something
we had to pull it out of you.
Yeah.
Something that came down the pike with my personal experience, my business is, as I was growing larger, I started branching out in services. I started adding window washing. I added interior and exterior painting. We paint a lot of houses now, and we paint a lot of commercial projects. But, so these guys that I did work for 7 years ago that know me as Blair, the guy that climbed up the ladder himself and was, here I am cleaning out your rain gutters. I was able to kind of contact them, reach out to them, be like, by the way, I'll paint your entire house now. I will, so this thing, and that is also a really beautiful thing. So as your company's growing, if you decide to go that route, when you're introducing these different veins of business, these different strategies, like, well, I'm going to start window cleaning this year. I'm going to start Christmas lights this year. You've got 1,500 clients in your database that you can blast all at once. It'll cost you $1,500. Oh God. And then next thing you know, you've got 45 Christmas light jobs at $3,500 a piece.
So these guys, Bobby and Nick, can change the content.
Oh yeah. We can do absolutely things. We can do whatever you want. I change my text all the time.
Yeah.
It's
you gotta keep it fresh. Keep it fresh.
New services, reviews, whatever. We could do a lot of different things. We just want to really take this year and help a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Awesome. With that being said, we are dropping down in numbers because everybody's going to bed. We
Yeah.
are 24 minutes over time.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
No, but Barry Little, just to finish it off, Barry Little said, am I late? Just got back in the hotel room. That's what we heard last week.
30 minutes ago, Trudi.
I know. Well, I couldn't talk because Blair, who doesn't talk, was talking. But he showed up tonight about the same time he showed up when he was the guest, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And now we sold him some plants, so we're good. But now I hope we can say.
But anyway, Blair, when you're out there selling all of your package deals, you also can tell them, I know a guy can get you some plants.
Mm-hmm.
If I could do it all over, I'd be a farmer. I love the idea of plants, man. I love it. But
right now, I'm glad I have chickens because eggs are expensive, and I get fresh butt nuggets every morning.
Amen. Me too. And turkey eggs. Hey, all jokes. Trudi, thanks so much for having me on and your kind words. And Anthony, thanks for everything. I know that we're blowing way over time here. So, and I know I was running my mouth, so I'm probably part of it. But I'm gonna wind back here and sign off. But y'all, it was great to see you and talk to you and meet you, Anthony, and see you again.
You too, man. We'll see you in November.
Yeah, we'll remember when y'all are teaching, and Blair, you're going to show up so we can meet in person.
Absolutely, I'm going to buy you a bourbon and Coke, and we're gonna chop it up like real folks. But all jokes. Anybody still watching? No smoke, no mirrors. It's the real deal. It's a good program. I throw them $500 if you're worried about it. It's $500. At the end of the day, I promise you that if you throw them 500, you're going to get it back at least. And I think you guys will be really happy with the with giving it a shot and at least just working it into your marketing program in a small way, even if it's a low budget, 300 a month. Who doesn't want an extra job every single day? Boom.
Blair, you nailed it. There's no smoke, no mirrors. Just GoWash, baby. Come on.
Yeah.
No smoke, no mirror, just GoWash.
But definitely mention this podcast if you hit us up, and we'll give you 50% off for the first 2,000 contacts that you give us.
Nice. I love it. Well, thank you guys, and everybody have a great night.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.